everybody. I am at the Manhattan Beach Botanical Gardens, so take a look. Very pretty. I'm in the garden spot of it. There are a bunch of trees down there, which I was climbing earlier. However, it was too windy up there to record a video, so I decided to come down where I'm kind of sheltered by all the foliage and stuff. Anyway, this video is going to be on, I'm looking down at my little notes here because I had to write some stuff down. It was coming too fast in my meditation for me to think that I would be able to remember all of it as pristinely as it came through. Is that a word? I don't know, but I'm using it as one. Anyway, so today's video is on real magic. What is real magic? And so far as I've been able to understand it, real magic describes anything that happens that our current scientific paradigms cannot explain or describe. Historically, what's happened is if our current scientific, medical, whatever paradigms can't explain what's happening, then whatever the event or experience is will be discounted as imaginary or a hallucination or something like that. However, I think that that's kind of selling our intelligence and room for growth short as a species, to think that just because we don't understand things right now, they will never be understood. And it's my opinion that eventually science will evolve to the point where you can measure everything, including things like telepathy, telekinesis, you know, remote viewing, that kind of stuff. And that's just the passive ones, and active ones are coming more online. So really, what's happening is the whole world, at least the whole Western world that I've noticed, is catching up to the more wooey kind of view of what the Earth is like. You've got the scientific people doing quantum physics stuff. You've got the medical people doing all the different placebo effect type of experiments about what prayer and stuff like that does, intention setting, and laughter being the best medicine. Well, one of the reasons that laughter is the best medicine is because laughter literally pumps your solar plexus, which is your willpower area and where your personal power and your life-giving stuff comes from. So of course, if you're like pumping it like a, I don't know, like a balloon pump or something, then you're going to have more life force. So that's why laughter is the best medicine. Anyway, you've got the religious people talking about the power of prayer and how well that works. It's all the same stuff. It's all magic. There's also more stuff that I think is emerging now that I don't even really understand yet, and it's still just even beginning for me. So more on that to come once I get it more. Anyway, also, it's really important to think that for most of you guys watching this, I'm sure that you have that internal drive to figure out things that don't seem possible given what you were raised believing. And it's hard to describe. It's like a fire inside of you. It's like a pressure building up that wants to come out in ways that defy what you think is possible. I mean, if you feel super inspired when you watch certain like sci-fi or fantasy movies where people can do things that people can't supposedly do here, and yet somewhere within you, you know that it's true. If this describes you, which I'm sure it describes most of you, at least sometimes, then it's not for you, unless this is your calling, it's not for you to understand how it works. There's a beautiful bird that just flew right in front of me when I said that. It's not for you to understand how it works scientifically first. It's for you to just try to do it first. And after you can do whatever the thing is. I mean, when I first learned Reiki and energy healing, it blew my mind. It was, you know, like, I'm giving you Reiki on your leg because you've got a sore muscle. And my friend back in grad school says, you're not touching me because your hand, it feels like your hand is on my leg and it's really hot. And I said, no, look down. And my hand is, you know, yay far from her leg. And then she puts, I hold my hand up for her to feel, and it's not even hot at all. And so it was just this mind-blowing kind of stuff where now it's normal. So any paradigms that are being broken as you're figuring out what you can do, just trying to do it, not figuring out the science first, they're going to stretch and be broken, and eventually they'll be normal. Now, also, after they're normal, they'll be able to be scientifically defined. It all kind of goes together. And I'm sure that sometimes there are things that are studied that a mystic will tell a scientist or a more logically minded person what's going on, and then the logically minded person will be able to translate it and make it real in the way that's commonly accepted in our culture. But there's no reason to wait for that. In fact, it hinders you, especially if science hasn't yet caught up to what people are doing individually and collectively as a group in some cases. Anyway, food for thought. I'm working on some stuff. That actually, what I'm talking about is one of the main things about Starseed Wilding, the book that I'm working on, is kind of stop waiting, just remember. Just remember what it is you're here to do and who you are, and stop pretending like you don't know, because deep within us there's this core that knows everything and that isn't confused and isn't wondering what's going on, just knows. And so the book is kind of calling to that bit of all of us and saying, stop pretending. You know what's going on. Just remember. And first admit that there might be stuff you don't know, have the intention of stretching your paradigms, and then bang, all this crazy stuff starts happening. Anyway, check out these seagulls. I hope that you can see them. I can't see what I'm recording when I do that. Anyway, have a great day. Go in peace. I'll talk to you guys again very soon.